Hi, I'm Anita Potter from Needles and Hooks, and this is episode 4 of UFO2FO. UFO stands for unfinished object, and FO stands for finished object. I'm going to work on another one of my personal UFOs, and I encourage you to grab one of your own UFOs and get to work. So in this one, and give me a sec here, I've laid it on my little couch all weird. This is, I don't need to lose my hooks because I have 2 of them. This is the a panel for my weighted blanket. These are pony beads. There's like a whole bunch of these right here, and I use 2 hooks. Let's see, and the yarn I've got is kind of like a sport weight yarn. It's not exactly a 4, 3, or it might be a 3 or a 2. It's not, I don't think it's a 2, but I do believe it's a 3. It's a lightweight sport. This was, I wound this like a bobbin, and I was working with it, and then all of a sudden it had complete yarn barf. It just completely like disintegrated from the center, and I was like, and I didn't feel like rolling it up in a ball, so it's just in a pile right there. So hopefully I can get through that pile, because I have another one sitting over here, and I'll show that if I run out of this before time is up. My hooks I'm using is a UFO2FO. It's a 3.5 millimeter hook. This is the one I'm using with the on the pony bead row, and the next one is a size F that I have no idea what the millimeters are on it, because it's not printed on here. So, and I don't have them memorized. So, and this one is just for the plain row. So, I'm going to start with a beaded row. But before we begin, we set our 30-minute timer right here. And I'm going to press start. And away we go. So, I have like a whole container. This is what's left of the 4,200 beads I started with. Well, it wasn't exactly 4,200, because there's like a pack of 4 or 5 packs of like transparent beads in there, so I just used, these are all the solid ones that's left out of that pack. And this will take a while. I probably get through panel 3 and part of panel 4 before I have to go and open that other package. So I'm going to grab my smaller E-hook and get started if I do not knot my stuff up before I get going here. I usually don't do my projects on the couch, because I'm usually at my computer with YouTube in the background, or I'm like got a movie going on. So all this is half double crochets, grab a bead. I'm trying not to match the color that was the one underneath or like off to the side. So I try not to do that. I failed in a couple of spots because I wasn't paying attention. But that's okay. This is for me. I mean, I don't really have, because weighted blankets are supposed to help you with anxiety. I don't deal with anxiety too much. It's just sometimes when, because of the nerve damage that's in my leg, I get leg cramps really bad. And that usually keeps me awake, which is not good. So a weighted blanket, I'm thinking a weighted blanket would help me fall asleep. So I'm excited to finish this and test it out. Because, I mean, the blankets I make aren't light to begin with. I don't make light blankets. So yeah, the one I have on my bed right now is like, I made like these little log cabin blocks knitted in garter stitch, and but I finished the top, and I'm like, I should probably make a backing, because I used it and it was like air kept going through it, and I didn't want to put like fabric on it, because I didn't have fabric, but I had yarn. So I made a whole entire other blanket with scrap yarn to put a back on it, and I crocheted around, single crocheted around the edge to join them together. But what I need to do is go around the blocks and secure them, because it's like you can take them and like pull them apart, and the only thing that keeps them together is the crocheted edging. And I haven't I've had that blanket for years and haven't done it yet, which I'm probably going to need to, because it's like getting annoying having to like fix it. And sometimes it's hard to tell if I'm putting it on the bed correctly, because I think it was like 9 blocks across and 10 blocks down or something like that. I know it was one less than the other. So sometimes I end up with it sideways or try to put my bed together, and it's not light, so it takes a minute. I have to flip my yarn mess over because it was underneath. And I was like, I put it on sideways and have to now I have to like straighten it and put it on the correct way, which is annoying because it is heavy. It's not a light blanket. I don't know how much it weighs, but it was a lot of yarn, and it took a lot of time to do it too. Dang it, let's not split the yarn. And yes, I do crochet left-handed. I also I wrap my yarn under and over, which is how I've always done it. And I did try the over method, and I didn't really see much of a difference to it. But it may be more evident in stitches other than single crochet. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Maybe one of these days I will. But that's what I've been used to doing. So that's how I always do this. And it does take time to get through these rows, especially the beaded ones. Having to like grab a bead, make sure it's not the same color as what you just did, because I've had that happen a lot. I'm like, I'll pull one out and get ready to like put the bead on the hook, and then oh, dang it, it's the same color as I just used, or it's the same color that's in the row below, and it's like, ah. So I always have to dive back in, grab a different bead. But I don't expect to get this panel 3 finished in this hour, but I expect to do get a good chunk of it done. It's just the bead row takes a little longer, and sometimes the beads aren't, darn it, see, this is another one that happens. It's like I split the yarn somewhere in the middle, so I couldn't pull it up very well. So I had to get to do that stitch again. Maybe. Get on the hook. Because sometimes the beads aren't, that the holes are still a little closed on. So I usually, if I had a bead reamer, that would be like perfect, but I don't have one of those, so I just use my crochet hook, kind of wiggle it around, poke it through to make it to where I could actually work with it. Can I have a different color, please? Okay. And there's at least one bead that I have in a container over by my desk that I need to like file around it, because there's still plastic where they fused them together. There was like leftover plastic around it, so I need to get my a file and file it off, which I have done on one other bead. And I only ever ran across one broken bead that was in the pack. So far it's been okay. I've only had a few that had closed holes, or almost closed holes. So I just fix them and go on about my day. So I'm at the end of the bead row, so I'm going to switch to my larger hook. And then I'm going to chain 1 and then half double crochet across this row. The way I did this is I started with a chain of 31, and then half double crocheted across in the third chain from the hook and ended up with 29 stitches. Each row has 14 beads. And then on my plain row here, which the plain row usually goes faster than the beaded row because I'm having to pick the color. Now, if I had a container where I could have sorted all of these out into, I probably would have just started with one color and then worked across. And then tried not to be matchy-matchy with it. I also even thought, like, oh, I should have just, like, grabbed one pack of beads, used those up, and then grabbed another one. But where would the fun in that be? It would be kind of boring. So, and going in order would have been kind of boring too, but it probably would have saved a lot of aggravation. It's like, I just picked this color bead, and then you set that one down, and then you go to grab another one, and it's the same stinking color, and I've had that happen quite a bit. Let's not wrap the yarn around more than once. So I expect, or at least I expect, this particular UFO to get finished before, like, my bath rug does, because I have to, like, get more I need to have more scrap yarn to work on that. I do have a thing I made of the same scrap yarn from that same blanket I took apart, that I made a cover for my piano, like a dust cover. But I'm sitting there thinking about it. I was like, no, I kind of want a nicer dust cover for my piano. So I'm probably gonna frog that, and then I'm gonna think about what color I want over there, because I don't want black. Black is darker colors, unless you have like decent lighting where you do your yarn crafts at, is the hardest to see unless it's knitting. It's like knitting all the stitches around the hook and you can tell where you're at. But with crochet, it's hard to see unless you have decent lighting, which I do not in this place at all. So I rarely work with black yarn unless I know what I'm doing, unless it's knitting. Okay, now we get to pick more beads and do more colors. I'm trying not to dig into that container right there because it's like I don't want my beads falling out all over the place. And then I just picked a white color. Come on. Give me a different color. Thank you. See, it happened. I will save that white bead for another row. This also, it does get quite heavy to work with, which is why I chose not to do the big width of the blanket to start off with, because it would have been just way too heavy to work with. Because the original pattern, I think it was like 3 feet by 4 feet, if I'm remembering correctly. This one, I'm not sure what the width is going to be, but it is about 5 foot long. Because I'm 5'2", and I kind of want it like almost my height. But we'll see once I finish what the actual size is. Because I mean, when I was working on the first panel, and it's like I got a good length going, so I started standing up, and I held it up and was touching the floor with it. It's like, oh, I need to get up to like here with it. So that's what I did. It's like, oh, I'm not done yet. And then when I finally finished it, I counted my rows, multiplied that by how many beads there are in the panel. So I was like, okay. And that's how I ended up with it's almost 1,000 beads per panel. I think it was like something like $9.97 or something. or somewhere around in there. I mean, I even wrote it down. And I have the other two panels are sitting behind the camera. I just had that color. What color is this? Is that? I can't even tell. See, and the lighting kind of sucks. I can't tell if that's a dark brown or black. But it doesn't look like it's this color purple, so. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have decent lighting. What I wouldn't give to have space to have decent lighting. This place is small. And I don't have the fancy setup and the expensive studio lighting because I don't have space for it. I mean, I wish I could have like a couple of soft boxes, but I would be tripping over them. Let's do a gray. Because it's like when I had the mic stand for the overhead videos, and it's like, okay, I finished with that, and I moved it, but I kept tripping over the legs on it. And it's like, oh, come on. Why me? Where the heck is like a peach color? There we go. You know, maybe it's not peach. It might be just extremely light pink. I don't know. I can't tell. I was like, I kind of want more variety of colors. And it's like, the package, it says like 28 different colors, but there is an insane amount of blue shades in here. And it's like, you know, there are more. I only got like 2 purples. There's a lot of pink and red too. 1 orange, 3 greens, and I'm like, which one did I just do? To make sure we're not picking the same color here. And I was like, I just wish it had just a little bit more variety. You know, like, give me more shades of purple. Give me more shades of yellow. A few more shades of green, you know, and some, like, more browns and stuff. Just to, like, even it out a little bit. The bead rows take so long to do because I'm having to pick beads and not pick the same color. Where's my light blue? Here we go. Because usually when I'm at my desk, I'll like grab a little handful of beads, and I will sort them out by color, and I'll stop at like 3 of each. And then just go from there until I get through what's in the container. But my container is completely full, so I am not going to try to do that with this. And I can't do it over here anyway, because I would knock it off onto the floor, especially when I go and take the break. Which, by the way, if you haven't sat through one of these, I build in a 10-minute break into the video when I'm editing, which hopefully will encourage you to take a 10-minute break to get up and stretch, grab a snack, go to the bathroom, get some water, make a phone call or something. Just handle something little to keep your mind off of this and just do something else for a little bit and then come back to it. Because you can sit there for hours and hours on end doing this, but you need to get up and take a break. Which, it's not going to feel like I'm actually making any kind of progress on this. I've done 2 beaded rows. And usually when I go through and do my round robin with my projects at the desk, I'll do like 4 bead rows and 4 half double crochet rows. I think. I'm I'm also thinking about just getting a regular ball winder. So I don't know if anybody has like using like a little ball winder to wind their yarn up to make center pull balls or cakes or whatever. That if you have like the absolute yarn barf that I dealt with when doing the bobbin wound ones. Different color. Let's first, before we put the bead on, we need to make a half double crochet first. I've done that a lot too. I get ready to get started and it's like, wait a minute, you forgot a stitch. You have to do that stitch first before you start your beading. And this is done in such a way where I don't have to pre-string anything. I made a necklace with size 10 crochet cotton, and it had all these little silver seed beads. They're really, really small. And I had to pre-string them because there was no way I was going to be able to get a crochet, even my smallest steel crochet hook, through the center of that bead to pull up the cotton yarn. There was no way that was going to happen. So I strung like a whole ton of beads onto the yarn and then did it that way. And I dropped quite a bit when I was doing it, so I'm still finding like little beads everywhere. Once in a while I'll run across one. It's like, oh, well, look at you. Found you. You were lost for months. And in between that break, I cleaned my bathroom. I'll have to wait and clean my shower tomorrow. It was like that was going to take a lot longer than I wanted to spend. It's going to take a lot more work. No. Alright, let me dig in the center here, see if I can like get a different color. Yeah, it'll do. Like brown. And then I'll add that white I accidentally picked twice in a row. And I'm not worried about like using the same color in the same row as long as they're not that close to each other. It's just whatever I grab out. Dang, I just did that brown. Okay, come on. You can get through this bead. There we go. I just did that purple. Good grief. Can I have an orange, please? Maybe? That's a different blue. I'll just use that. Thought I was grabbing an orange bead. I was wrong. It's blue. Just take a pink. I'll grab that orange one eventually if I can find it again. On the third row of beads. I'd be amazed if I can get 8 rows of beads done in the time we have. Because my next project in episode 5 will be my son's single crochet blanket. I don't think I will get through all the yarn that I have left in that last skein. Is that black? Can I have it, please? Thank you. Grab it. I'll use these other two. They're just sitting here before I try to grab into that container again. Brown. Purple. bead. Let's try not that. I have that blue. Darn it. It's also easy to like split this yarn. And it's like I don't even know what brand this yarn is. A lot of the yarn that I got that's like this size was it was given to me. They didn't want to like crochet anymore. They wanted to just sew. I was like, all right, I'll take that yarn off your hands. Don't have to ask me twice. I don't know what half of it was. So I don't even know what brand this is. I'm guessing it's a 3-weight. It's a sport weight yarn. I'm pretty sure it's acrylic. I don't honestly know. Yeah, I had quite a few of these. I swore I rolled up a white one. Or did I use it? I don't remember. And we'll do like a lot of like accessories too. We're not just gonna do, oh come on. Go through all 3 loops, thank you. Accessories like little trinket bags, key fobs, wristlets, and stuff. And just things you can use, or you can give as gifts or sell or whatever. But my patterns, you can't sell my patterns. My patterns are my patterns. I sell my patterns. But you can sell the stuff you make using those patterns. Just give me credit for being the pattern designer. That's all I ask. I know we've got to be getting close to 30 minutes. At least I think we are. I'll have to look. Now we got 4 minutes. Which I will hopefully get through this beaded row before that timer goes off. If not, I will finish the beaded row before I take my break. It's like I am coming up with, I don't want that one yet. Lists of things that we can make on the channel together. Working on it. Some of them will be short-term or easy projects. Some will be not so easy projects. That will take time to finish and complete if I can get a hold of this yarn. Yeah, like anything that we make with like blankets. And I am thinking about starting a temperature blanket for next year. But it's not going to be your normal temperature blanket. You'll just have to wait and see what that's going to end up being. Because I have to go through and I have to figure it out. So I don't want to start it and then, oh shoot, this isn't going to work. I don't want that. I don't want that happening. Oh, come on. On the hook. Yeah, the beaded row is always the fussiest row. because you have to let go of the yarn, grab a bead, put it on the hook, and grab the yarn again. And sometimes the yarn likes to like hide or get away from you and stuff, and it's like, oh come on, I just want this yarn. Give me the yarn. Give me the brown bead, dang it. There we go. This is beaded row 4. I just did that pink. I have green. Usually when I work this, and like I've said before, and I'm probably just repeating myself over and over and over again, is I do 4 rows of beads and finish with the last half double crochet row, which is what I'm trying to get to, but I don't think I'm gonna get to the half double crochet row, but I will finish the bead row even if the timer goes off. Give me a bead. I just had a dark green. I'll take this pink though. Black bead. Okay, bead row's done. Can I get through the half double crochet row? One, 2, 3. Nope. But I'm gonna, since I started it, I'm gonna finish it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. There we go with that, and I'll just go ahead and put my small hook on, chain 1 and turn it, and take our break. So I'm going to set my timer, maybe 10-minute timer. Let's take our break, okay? Here we go. Welcome back from your break. You did take a break, didn't you? Watching you. Anyway, so we managed to get 4 rows done. Yay! So let's see if we can get 4 more in the next 30 minutes. So I'm going to reset my timer for 30. And away we go. Alright. Got our small hook first to do our bead row. Yay! And of course, I always have issues getting that started sometimes. Uh-oh. Did I? No. Okay. I had to make sure I still had my chain 1 attached. I can't find my yarn. Ah. The problems of tiny yarn. It's like there was a time where I would not work with smaller yarn. I have knit socks, and I would like to do that again. I'd like some normal size socks, like I had talked about before. That has like 7 inches of ribbing, and then before I go into like doing the heel and stuff, because I like that better because it fits better. I just did that brown color. Then just doing 2 inches of ribbing and then knitting around. It fits better. At least I think it does. I also want to make myself some ankle socks. It's not yarn over on a bead. I mean, I have ankle socks, but I kind of want some knitted ones. And I might want to try making like those little yoga socks. That's just a cuff, no heel, and then you just knit up and no toes. Just to see what that looks like. And if it actually fits me proper. Because a lot of that is just measuring. And I need to do more research on how to like size patterns for different sizes, because not everybody is shaped the same. Some people have bigger feet, some people have smaller feet, you know? And it's like I want to be able to make patterns to where anybody can make them. Some of it is just simple measuring, especially for the foot length. You just measure your foot from your heel to, I usually do it to my big toe, and then minus 2 inches off of that measurement. So when you go to do the toe, you can do the shaping, the decreasing, and then finish with the Kitchener stitch. Okay, that's 3 pinks in a row. I'm not doing that. I'll grab another white. So it fits, and it's like doing like headbands or hats. I like my hats to be a little snug, so I'll measure around the widest part of my head and then subtract like 2 inches from that, so it's snug without being too tight, because yarn does stretch. Yarn does have a stretch to it. Some yarns stretch more than others. Cotton yarn, I feel, stretches more than, say, 100% acrylic. I'm not sure about the wool blends or wool, because I won't work with wool. Not because I'm allergic to it, I just don't like the feel of it going through my hands. But I'm not discouraging anybody from using like 100% wool or superwash wool at all. It's just, that's just my preference. I don't like the feel of it. And yeah, some acrylic yarns are scratchier than others, and I find it's not like, not all of Red Heart is scratchy. There were some like certain colors that was like scratchier than alright, let's not do that. Let me undo this one, because I just did a purple one, then a black one, and then I just grabbed the same purple again. Let me set that aside. We will find a different color to put there. Like green. Because I want it to be able to be universal. There are quite a few like universal patterns that have like the instructions set up so you can use almost, if not almost every weight of yarn with specific needles and hooks and do the pattern that way, which I don't have a lot of. Like, I have that 1/3 weight yarn over there. I do have a lot of 4 weight, and sock yarn I think is 1 or 2. I don't remember offhand. And I have a lot of that still left for that other blanket. So I would like to be able to like make a pattern be universal so that everyone can make it with whatever yarn they've got on hand. And to like make every size that's like possible, or at least get close to it. It's like I haven't done, it's like I need to learn, I need to focus some time on sweaters, especially when it comes to like the sleeves. I mean, I prefer my sweaters to be just a little bit more oversized. So I'll add about 2 inches to the width. I like a longer sweater. I'm not a fan of short sweaters or cropped sweaters. I like to cover myself, thank you. And the only reason I would wear a sweater is if it's cold. I won't be wearing a sweater in the summer. No, thank you. So I need to learn how to like do that, because I do want a raglan sweater. But I do not know how to do the raglan sleeves or the raglan decreases on the front and back. And I like it to where how, if you've ever seen them, they're like, it's like a solid color at the bottom. And then when you start the decreases on the front and back and on the sleeves, that they match with like a stripe pattern. Because I kind of want something like that. Turn a plain sweater into something funky. There's quite a few knitting things that I need to get more of a handle on, like Fair Isle and Intarsia. I have not been able to strand yarn to where it doesn't pucker. And I've tried quite a few tricks that I found online, but they just weren't working for me, or I wasn't understanding their little trick to the best of my ability. So I need to spend more time doing that, because I like doing, I do like color work, like with the double knit blanket, even though it's only just 2 colors. It's like you can make a pattern even with just like, and we'll have a section with that too. We'll do knitting patterns to where like you can make blocks with stockinette stitch with reverse stockinette on the thing to create like letters and like patterns and things, to add some texture. And I would only choose like a solid plain smooth yarn for that. I wouldn't use like a variegated or an ombre yarn, because the pattern would get lost in the colors. Get in that stitch. There we go. Just did a yellow. Where's my other? Can I? Give me red. I haven't had a red one in a while. I'll do the yellow. Yeah, and I was just checking YouTube on my other channel, my audio channel, and I just hit 1,100 subscribers tonight. My Poor Needles and Hooks has 1 subscriber, which is me. Sad face. It takes time to grow a channel. I'm not too worried about it. I just need to focus on content and get a variety going. If you build it, they will come. It's like, well, I'm building it right now. Kind of on the, I'm working on the foundation right now. So that it'll happen. May have to toss some stuff up onto my other social media things to like kickstart it a little bit, but I won't make that my sole focus. I don't much post on Instagram or Facebook too often, or Threads. Itchy nose. So I just been basically sticking to just YouTube and Discord. Discord will happen. Ah, it's the same color in the row below. No, 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 no. You missed one. Go under both loops. There we go. Oops. Darn it. Yarn over. No. Okay. Next row. And yes, I do like talk to myself when I'm like trying to like get through a stitch and it's just not working. Which it takes, it's like, okay, it's like, oh my goodness, come on, you can pull through that loop. Or I split my yarn. I'm like, I split my yarn. Dang yarn. Even though I'm pretty sure it's not really the yarn's fault, it's just my fault for not aiming properly enough. So, I've been trying to get everything going. Oh, come on. Seriously? Let's try that stitch again, shall we? Darn it. Goodness. Are you kidding? Again? Why do you hate me so much, yarn? Why? Be like the third time I'm trying to do this one stinking half double crochet. Aha! Got it finally. Yeah, for some reason some stitches were like, oh, you thought you were gonna half double crochet. You know what? I beat you now. Yeah, if you have any like comments or suggestions, please, for content that I can make for you, please leave them in the comment section below. I do read them, and I do try my best to respond to everybody as well. I can't just sit there and like read a comment and not like, especially if there's like a question, I will answer it to the best of my ability, and if I can't answer it off the top of my head, I will do the research to look. I do it on my other channel too. And it's like, and it doesn't matter how many subscribers, if I ever get or whatever, I will respond to comments and stuff. And it's only just going to be me. I'm not going to hire somebody to write my comments for me. And that did it again. Let's do the half double crochet first before we start adding beads, please. There we go. Now we can start the third beaded row. Will I get to 4? Keep watching to find out. It doesn't even feel like I'm making a dent in the bead stash over here. It would take quite a few rows to like feel like I've actually like used any of them. That's the same color in the row below. Grab a different one. Oh shoot. Not that one. I just did that one. The first stitch beaded thing I did. Pick a different color. Alright, find dark brown. Yeah, because you can tell, like, certain creators, you can tell when it's not them responding and it's someone else responding. Oh my frickin' goodness. We're gonna do that one. I really probably won't get to the 4th row on this. Oh my good grief. The struggle is real. Alright. Can I have a gray? Maybe I can do that one. And find a different color and then use the ones I've got set over here on my binder. Oh, no, 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 no. What? Pink. Can do pink. That's not pink, that's orange. Oh, what I wouldn't give for better lighting. Anyway. Thought I was grabbing a pink one. Nope, I grabbed an orange one. And what was in the row below? Orange. Okay, so I'm going to grab this blue one that I grabbed earlier. And got a brown one I'm going to do. And I'll grab the orange again. Have a nice collection of beads just sitting on my binder that the bead container is sitting on. Get through there. Now I gotta dig into the beads. Yeah, and once I can tell that the creator isn't answering comments anymore, I kind of lose faith in them. That it's like they don't care enough to read the comments anymore and respond to questions and stuff. That's what makes it like difficult. And I know it's impossible for some that have like hundreds, tens of thousands of like followers or whatever, but It's just if they're not even making an attempt to do a few or any at all, that's when I kind of like, well, that's when I kind of lose faith in the process here. Ow. I don't know if that went over the microphone, but my shoulder just popped. I was in a hit and run accident a month ago, and the way I was angled in my car, I was turned, I got hit. My shoulder went back to the seat, and my shoulder's been snappy ever since, which is aggravating. Not much I can do about that. We got 3 of our beads done. Almost. Oh, no. Not supposed to use that one to do the chain one. I need to grab the bigger hook and do the chain one with that. Okay. Let's get across this row. As quickly as I can go, because I really want to get the 4th beaded row and the last half double crochet row done before I set my project aside. And then I will count how many bead rows I have, which will then let me know how many more I've got left to go, because there's 71 bead rows. It should be around maybe close to 40, somewhere around in there, like right now. Since I'm not talking, I'm just trying to like focused. I am focused on finishing this row and then getting through that next beaded row and hopefully the last half double crochet row. But I have to be mindful on the bead row not to pick the same colors twice in a row or the same color that's right above it. And that was my issue with the last one. Bead row. And I like keeping these to like an hour long. It's a nice round number. Did it again. Half double crochet first. Now we bead. Now we bead. Can't even talk. Okay, that's not the color I thought I was grabbing. What do we say to the phone? Shush. I will check you when I'm done. I don't want yellow. I don't want that one either right now. Blue. All the yellows keep popping up, and it's like, no, I don't want yellow. I just did a yellow one. Motorcycle. Screaming through at like past 11 o'clock. It's probably midnight by now, I think. No. I'll take that one then. It's got to be at least past midnight. It's like traffic will scream through here in the middle of the night, making a racket. It's not what I'm looking for. Awkward silence is also real. I'm focused. I am extremely focused on finishing this bead row. I just had a black one. I just did gray. Oh, okay, give me brown. Oh, fine, I'll do yellow. Even though I had a yellow one sitting on my binder, I just grabbed one out of the container instead. Give me green. My yarn. There's gotta be a better way to do this. Other than, that's like, I did not want to string like a ton of beads on my yarn. That especially the ones that are these size, because they do have weight to them. I mean, it didn't really bother me when I was doing the necklace that I made, because they were really light beads, but there was a lot of them, so it took forever to like string a decent amount onto the crochet cotton. Which, if I mean, I'll make one again, but I'd rather use like a different color thread for it instead of white and silver beads, because you really can't see the silver beads too well on the white thread. I should have picked like a darker color. I mean, I've got red now, so I could probably do it with that. But I don't have enough of those silver beads anymore, so. And I'm not taking apart the one that I made, because that took forever. And it was a little hard to keep track of what I was doing, because you have to like, it was kind of done in the round almost-ish. So you chain so many, and then you pull a bead up, and then like crochet into the row, last round or something that you did, just to like keep all the strands together. Darn it. No, I just didn't do row 4. Dang it. What's my time? And I got 1 minute. So I'm not gonna like do another row, because then I would have to do the other row back. But that's all the yarn I've got left. I didn't run out. So I'm going to count how many bead rows I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. I have 44 rows done. Let's see, where's my calculator? 71 minus 44. I have 27 bead rows left. So, which I have like 17 seconds left on my timer, which we will let elapse. I'm not going to end it early. I will get 10, 9, 8, 7. I can't count. 3, 2, 1. Timer goes off. And that's the end of this episode. Let me know what UFOs you worked on during this time. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.